The resort is gorgeous.
Yeah, no.
Are you staying in a big hotel or the little?
I'm not going this year.
I'm staying at
Yeah, it's nice.
I
They
made
redid
my
it.
husband come.
I have an
I took my
obligation.
wife a
I
few
have
times.
an.
We had like the bungalows down by the water and kayak during the day.
I always like looked to go there, and then I was like, for that kind of money, we can go to like Europe. I don't know. So
Yeah.
like, it just
Oh, he's the.
gone. So when I
Yeah.
saw that it was there,
Oh, one of the awards.
and I said to him, like, just come with me. What's the difference? He's like, well, you're going to be busy. I'm like, what the hell? You'll
Yeah,
see me
you
all
walk
day
around,
anyway.
shopping,
So like,
fishing, there's so many things to do.
work out. He's bringing his guitar. Like, I'm
Oh,
like,
there you go. Done.
Oh, one of them. But does, but it,
My wife said the same thing after a while. She said, everybody's coming, hey, how you doing? It's like I kind of dismissed her afterwards. She said, I'm not coming back.
and I didn't go to the last remote.
No, down there.
Go,
Yeah, I did.
because that was my idea for that.
oh, if it's Christie, then she's got the
I wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was representing.
Yeah,
And then it actually worked out. There's a lot of people there.
No, it does, it does not.
I know what the next
There
one
was
is.
something at work
Christie, person.
that, there was a Rivertown's Chamber of Women's section up there, so
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, no, you're busy.
Sherry, do you want me to email it to them directly? HRDC?
Yeah, you can. CC me.
With all these other people that were on here?
Yeah, just do it, yeah. They like everyone to know everything. Yeah.
Stephen has involved in that tree in that well outside of
Phonetically, right? Phonetically? Yeah.
Last time I did that, you didn't read it. You read it however you wanted to read it. I was like, why do I bother?
There's the curve that goes down. She said she keeps getting dropped by her insurance because the sidewalk is dangerous.
What's that?
I guess we're not.
Let's talk about
She
it.
said the same thing 3 years ago.
And my understanding from the DPW,
Just say?
he told me today that
What are you
I
supposed to
think the
say?
idea was
Same woman who's trying to get her son paid
with the tree in the back that he
to
took down.
dig up a sewer pit.
Yeah, but she didn't mention that. Thank God.
You should, you want to rock and roll, because we got a lot of appointments.
Down, which we did.
And you do.
And they were supposed to use stone. And then she says,
Hey, Vinny, you going to Nikon?
I wasn't here, I don't know. So, here's the question.
Sherry,
Yeah,
when, I don't even hear it.
tomorrow,
Tomorrow?
sidewalk.
Well, I can't do that.
Situation with the right of way. The homeowner's responsibility to take care of the sidewalk.
No way.
Is it the street tree responsibility of the
No,
town,
there's no votes.
the village, or the homeowner? Because if it's our tree, we plant it, we maintain it, we trim it, do everything with it. And if it breaks up somebody's sidewalk, municipalities will say, okay, it's our tree, close it down, we'll fix it.
Yes.
So I didn't
I
want to
sent you
step
the
out.
form last week.
Something in Dobbs.
He agreed to cut it down on Friday.
No,
And then she changed her mind because
There's
we
nothing
wouldn't
right,
reimburse her
obviously.
son for taking it out from the
The
back.
state of
However,
Massachusetts finished, you know, that was like a little thing.
I brought it.
The negotiation with it.
What? How did you know?
I'll tell her, hey, pull up your end of the bar, you think this is about yourself? That's what it is.
Yeah, we have to ask.
If you want to fill it out,
I was
I'll-
involved in those conversations directly. Richard tonight.
Whatever
The first time he was here.
happened,
And then the third time, the second
last
time he
year,
came back
beginning of
after
this year,
she whose name shall not be
everyone-
spoken left. He had words with them.
Well,
They
Jessica
continued
raised
to
her
go back
hand.
to the rest of the case, and he went ballistic on me. He said, you
Yeah.
indicator.
you know,
Well, no, Jessica was
No,
second.
I'm the last.
And that's why.
Gary and I came before Jessica by a year.
I'm the last.
and also.
I will abdicate my
construction costs
responsibilities
and
to
continue
someone
to
else.
You're gonna be the whole time?
Major construction.
Pretty much. What do you
I'm gonna
mean?
appoint you as I'm gonna give you my
We're doing the
authority.
boathouse,
Okay. So what do I get? Do I get a crown? Do I
You
get?
get a nice name,
renovating,
you go there for your name.
So it gets like bedazzled, rhinestones. Yeah, I'm leaving after, Friday
Josh
after.
from my
whatever.
office is
Yeah.
going up.
I really wanted to go so bad.
Works with Briarcliff and Super Hollow.
You don't remember all my names?
From last year, he knows all the trustees.
ASCH.
Not my three closest.
ASCHER. SHARI.
Yeah.
ROSEN. ASCHER.
and he'll take like chicken out, put it in his agenda
I'm
game.
getting older faster, I don't know.
I gotta give me a point. So do you. You gotta behave.
Those sort of craftsmen are like, if you get one,
Whatever, something sounds
do
good.
whatever he says, you know, kind of thing.
Are you going up at all, Mayor?
And he's like, I
We're gonna
think I
declare
want to try.
ourselves
You're
a
like, just
feminist
do it.
village.
Put her on the check, she's got my authority.
Is Nicole going?
We've been able to do some really fun things.
Did you get the building plans to sign?
I don't have that.
So this was on the property that you bought, or
No,
you
but seriously, what does it mean that you're giving me your
What did they use
authority?
the
Am I
money
supposed to
for?
do something? Do I have to go to
Originally
something
the
else?
house.
Do I have to
Yeah,
like?
those are the two that,
And then, you know, it's literally on one.
Uh-huh.
See?
Yeah.
Is it sitting out there?
Okay, I'm sure I won't either.
For the last 60 years, a garage and workshop.
14.
What are you gonna do to this?
And who do I, where does that go to? Okay.
A lot of
So-
ups to that.
Our house on the property, which we already redid, is,
And one district attorney, and two district attorneys,
One what?
and TV district attorneys. SCHER.
That was my theory. And small house,
yeah, we called John too.
little table, whatever, just go for it.
Yeah, maybe she can text John and.
Wow.
Do we need more chairs?
You got this. I would volunteer my services as a proxy, but I can see that I'm not wanted as a proxy.
What are the names? John Manzo,
Yeah.
Sortolini,
Short-lived.
Corridon. Oh, Banerjee.
2.5 years.
Banerjee.
Yeah. Like that was, we went through this story where, you know, my wife's family, she has a big family, and they always had the same. And so like, we were signing this house for like other guests. Just give them this barn, which we're gonna build anyway.
High road.
And we'll put a nice bathroom in there, there's this big room at it. Can we use it all, like,
Oh, they're all here for
that
John.
was our
Certain
comment.
age, they'd rather be out.
Think about this though, Mayor, if you get them all wrong, nobody can be upset.
Climbing
Yeah. Oh, who did the, what was it, what was the list?
Sherry.
The Sherry, yeah. Oh, that was great, yeah.
Hey,
What is she getting on her for?
her husband is being hired as a police officer.
Oh, awesome. Oh, all right.
Full house.
Welcome, everybody, to the Board of Trustees meeting for Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Is there a motion to open tonight's meeting? Trustee Rosenberg, second. Trustee Gallen, all in favor? Meeting is hereby open. Deputy Mayor Nicole Sullivan is excused from tonight's meeting. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Tonight's a very special night. Usually I'm not standing here like the MC of the village. But we have a lot of people. I'm going to be doing a lot of standing here, so I just thought it would be easier to start down here, so a lot less moving parts. Welcome, everybody, to the Village of Dobbs Ferry. If this is your first time here, we'd love to have you here. You're welcome. Hope you've seen all the restaurants downtown after the meeting. 2 hours from now, you can go to the restaurants all you like and enjoy our beautiful village and the waterfront. So again, we're going to try to move this along as quickly as possible, but we want to be respectful of everyone's and really mindful of what's going on here today. So first action, is there a motion to appoint John Manzo as police officer in the village of Dobbs Ferry? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor. That motion is approved. So I can't say officer yet because he hasn't been sworn in yet. So can John Manzo please come on up? First of all, let's give him a round of applause because he just got a job. And for those of you who don't know, we have Chief Guevara here. Chief, you want to turn to the crowd and...
Chief in the house.
Oh, yeah. Before I administer the oath, let me just give you a little bit of history about John. John is a lifelong resident of Westchester County, where he currently resides with his wife, Kristen, and their one-year-old daughter, Madison. John attended John F. Kennedy High School in Somers and holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Pace University. John began his law enforcement career with the NYPD in 2016 and is currently assigned to the 40th Precinct in the Bronx. John has successfully completed all the standardized screening requirements, including an extensive background investigation, which included medical screening. All Westchester County Department of Human Resources requirements have been met. And in light of that, John, will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of police officer of the Village of Dobbs Ferry Police Department, effective on May 15th, 2024, at 00 hours, to the best of your ability? Congratulations. Is there somebody here who you'd like to come up and pin the badge on you? Okay, this is the most delicate part of the, so good luck. Watch the wire also.
I know. There's compensation.
Yes.
Maybe the other two want to practice now. All right, congratulations. Why don't you stay, Christy, stay up. Want to say anything?
How's it going? My name's John Manzo. Police officer in New York City for 8.5 years, and I'm happy to come up here and use the skills and the knowledge that I've developed down in the city to provide for the Dobbs Ferry community. Okay?
Mayor, Board of Trustees, I just want to thank you again for your continued support in helping us continue to execute our mission here in Dobbs. It has been quite a long road in just getting to this point, so I appreciate the patience and look forward to getting John, and Stephen off-field training and into patrol. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and let's get a picture.
We need to get you a step stool, Sherry. No, she's pushing herself up.
Stand on the bar.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Welcome.
Watch the wires.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Working.
Welcome. Good to have you.
Jeff, can you just...
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a motion to appoint Jonathan Sortolini as police officer in the Village of Dobbs Ferry? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor? That passes unanimously. So, Jonathan, please come on up. You are now appointed as a village police officer. Just a little bit of background. Jonathan is, should I say your age? Why did I even put it in here? So Jonathan is a lifelong resident of Westchester County. He is, when you get to be my age, you don't want the ages mentioned, so. He and his wife Colleen have lived in Dobbs Ferry since 2021. Jonathan attended Fox Lane High School in Bedford and holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from John Jay College. Jonathan also began his law enforcement career with the NYPD in 2016, and he is most recently assigned to the 44th Precinct in the Bronx as the neighborhood coordination officer, where he works with members of the community to combat crime and address specific issues that are of concern. Jonathan has successfully completed all standardized screening requirements, including an extensive background investigation, which included medical screening. All Westchester County Department of Human Resource requirements have been met. So Jonathan, we're going to administer the oath. If you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of police officer of the Village of Dobbs Ferry Police Department, effective May 15th, 2024, to the best of your ability? Congratulations and welcome. Somebody here you want to bring up to do this? Okay. Let's hope you know how to do this.
He's had some practice.
Congratulations. Jonathan?
Thank you. So I just want to say that Dobbs Ferry is a very special community. From the day that I first moved to town, I knew it was a special place. I remember walking down Main Street with my wife and being awestruck with how many people stopped and waved or beeped their horns as they drove past. And I remember thinking that this is something out of a movie. This is a community that cares about one another, that supports each other, from the local business owners in town doing events together that showcase their phenomenal products, or like the local events that go on, from Ferry Festa to the fireworks at the waterfront, where the community comes together to be together. Everybody looks out for one another. I know I haven't been a resident here for a very long time, a little over 4 years now, but I love this community, and I'm so grateful to be given the opportunity to protect and serve the community where I live, where my friends and family live, and so many other fantastic people live. I promise that I will do my best to make you all proud and feel safe and secure. Thank you.
So sort of a repeat again. Thank you, Mayor, Board of Trustees, for the support and helping me get these guys hired. So appreciate it.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you.
Welcome.
Looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Is there a motion to appoint Stephen Corridon as police officer to the Village of Dobbs Ferry? Trustee Patino, second trustee Taylor, all in favor. That passes unanimously. So, Stephen, you are officially a Dobbs Ferry police officer. Come on up. A little bit about Stephen. He's a lifelong resident of the Bronx. Stephen began his law enforcement career with the New York City Department of Corrections in 2017. In 2020, he joined the NYPD and has been assigned to the 47th Precinct. He is currently detailed to a conditions unit. Stephen has successfully completed all standardized screening requirements, including an extensive background investigation. All Westchester County Department of Human Resources requirements have been met. So again, we're going to do the oath. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of police officer of the Village of Dobbs Ferry Police Department, effective on May 15th, 2024, to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do.
That's right. Bring somebody up. Can you sign me? Want to tell us who you're bringing up?
My mother.
Nice to meet you. You can hurt him if you want.
All right. Little something. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Steven. I would like to thank you all for your time and for being here. It means a lot. I first like to say I'm truly grateful to my family who has always pushed me to strive for the best and for always being there for every step of the way of this journey. I would also like to give a special thanks to the village administrator, the chief, and the lieutenants who made this all possible. You guys were super welcoming from the very beginning, making me feel like if I was already a part of the team. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I'm truly grateful, I'm excited, and looking forward to working closely with each and every one of you. Thank you all. And I thank all the trustees also. I appreciate you guys.
Mayor, Board of Trustees, thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Look forward to working.
Welcome.
You do good things.
Picture.
Okay, let's bring up all the newly appointed officers and their families. Everybody can come on up.
Families.
Yep, friends, family, coworkers.
Will one of the existing police officers do crowd control, please?
There's a lot more of you than I thought.
Hey, take it easy. Proposing again?
Maybe one just within three.
Okay, yeah.
The trustees are in.
Oh, the trustees are in.
Oh. Round out the front.
Sherry, just scoot a little bit. Either way.
Just to be clear, we were, and the police chief will check me on this, we were down 3 officers. So these 3 new officers are replacing officers who had already left. It's certainly, their positions are in our budget. They have been in our budget. So they are backfilling to bring us up to full staff. And I think it's great.
2 more. We're working on 2 additional hires.
Replacement.
Okay, so we're still down.
We're at 25 now. We're trying to get ourselves back up to 70.
Okay, so we're still down, but these 3 bring up the numbers greatly. And I think it's great that they all have experience with New York City. So if you could make it in New York City, you certainly hopefully can make it in Dobbs Ferry, right? So these streets were a lot safer. So thank you again. And if you want to leave, now's the time to leave. So you guys can feel free to go. Or you could stay for the rest of the meeting. It's up to you.
It's a good 2.5 hours, so make your choice.
We have a lot of,
Party's over.
we have a lot of awards and presentations tonight.
Yes. Saturday, I got reelected from the board by him. So I'm on the director.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to be a president. I'm not that around anymore.
No.
So I get home. I like it.
So when you get all them.
Turn on the AC.
And then
Turn on the AC.
Yes.
Hey, Steve, is there a way to turn on the AC a little bit in here?
Yeah, because it's like blowing in my ear. Steve,
Rubbling.
hey, Steve,
Aaron has started there.
Steve, can you make the vent go?
I'm sorry, Liz.
No, the water, like, it goes right in my ear, like the whole meeting, it's air blowing in my ears. I'm like,
No, air is necessary for life.
second shift.
Yes. That's rubbing. Rubs and rubs.
Yep.
Stephen just put the air on
Feels good.
for now.
I know, Sherry's gonna be freezing though.
The air just went on. Air conditioning.
Okay, the fourth item for his appointments go is to consider a resolution appointing Neil Banerjee as volunteer firefighter for the Dobbs Ferry Fire Department. Is Neil here? Okay, so is there a motion to appoint Neil Banerjee as volunteer firefighter for the Village of Dobbs Ferry Fire Department? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Galen, all in favor. That passes unanimously. We want to thank Neil for volunteering and going through the strict, stringent requirements that it takes to become a volunteer firefighter. So again, we want to thank him for that, and we encourage everybody else out there to volunteer with the village, and a volunteer firefighter would be a great addition to the village. So thank you very much, Neil, and we look forward to your service. Next are presentations. So the first presentation that we have is the Climate Smart Communities Silver Certification and Certificate Appreciation to Sustainable Dobbs. So can the people from Sustainable Dobbs come on up?
Don't be shy.
I don't want to get myself tangled up here. Thanks. So I just want to say that these people are responsible for so much work. Again, volunteerism in the village is so important. We have limited resources, and we really depend upon the citizens and the volunteers of Dobbs Ferry to push us over the edge, so to speak. And thanks to the work of the Sustainable West Dobbs Ferry people, we have been named a Climate Smart Community, certified silver, which is very rare and difficult to get. And they've done so much work. They did basically all the work, and we just had to sign the paperwork pretty much. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. This is a great, great honor for the village. I don't know where we're going to hang this up.
In both sides of the hallway, coming and going.
Okay, so thank you so much for this. Want to get a picture with some of them holding it? Okay.
Yeah, maybe not in front of the screen.
Watch the wires.
Someone can blur them out
Takes it.
later.
In addition to that, in appreciation, an acknowledgement for what you guys have done, we have a certificate of appreciation, which on the behalf of the Board of Trustees, we a grateful recognition of your support for investment in clean energy initiatives with the Village of Dobbs Ferry and for your continued commitment to identifying and implementing energy efficiency improvements in the Village of Dobbs Ferry. So we really appreciate it. Usually we give them a day where they can park for free. We don't do that this year. Not for sustainable Dobbs. You're absolutely right. So thank you again for everything that you've done. I don't know who takes this home. You guys can decide that, but here you go. Thank you again very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
The same people, individuals.
All right, so will Matthew, Carol, and Janet just come back up? So again, the village depends so much on volunteers and everything that they've done. And we have a certificate of appreciation for the three of you for all the work that you've done to help us achieve this great status. And again, you did all the work. We just essentially signed the paperwork. You found the data. You got the data for us. So we appreciate it. So Matthew, this is for you. Carol, this is for you. And Janet, this is for you. So thank you very much. We appreciate everything that you've done. You guys want to say something?
I'll just say a quick, thank you for the recognition. It really means a lot to me, I'm sure for Janet and Carol as well. And like you, Mayor, we didn't really do a lot of the work. Everybody in the community did the work. We just pulled it all together, organized it, and submitted it. So it really is a village, effort, and it really is so in recognition of all of our work. Congratulations. And
Thank you very much. They're being very modest. They did all the work. So go have a seat, guys. Thank you. Cynthia, come on up. Greta, do you want to come up as well, or? Because both of you could help fill in all the background information that I may or may have forgotten. Okay, so a few years ago, actually while attending the Black Lives Matter rally down at Dobbs Ferry, I heard, and we all heard, a lot of disturbing stories about people of color who lived here who didn't really feel comfortable in their own village. And I thought it was important to address their concerns and the different perspectives that different people have in this village. And in response to that, I formed a committee that would address those issues. Now, these issues are not meant to be easy. They're difficult, tough issues that have to be addressed. And I think it's important that as a village we address those issues and not run away from what's happening out there. So I appointed a committee, and Cynthia, you were one of the first group of people that I appointed. You've been on the committee since day one. You've seen it transform, and you've seen it take, because it was brand new. So what role and how do you act, and and I think you were key to that. You were a chairperson on it, and you helped mold the committee so that we can be moving along in the right direction. So we appreciate your efforts for that. And in response to that, you've decided, not in response to that, you've ultimately decided to resign from that position. And as a result of that, we would just like to offer you our appreciation and thanks for everything that you've done. You've been on the committee from October 27th, 2020 to April 1st, 2024. So thank you very much for everything that you've done. Appreciate it. Do you want to add, I know you're still on the committee, do you want to add?
Well, I want to thank you for being such a great partner on our committee. You have brought a lot of strategic thinking, professionalism, and also your knowledge of decades here in this village that you love and care for. And so I really appreciate being able to partner with you on this committee. Thank you, Cynthia.
Just take a few moments to thank you, Mayor and the Board of Trustees, for establishing the committee. And a special shout out to Shari, who was also one of the founding members and sat through also as a liaison, another 2-hour meeting. Thank you to all. And you have new members on the committee now. We've recruited several persons, so there's new life, new blood, and I feel really good about stepping away and attending to other things. Thank you.
Thank you. Want to go through the picture? So I'm coming up. So one of the, if you see, one of the themes tonight is volunteerism and what a difference everyone can make in the village. And we've had a couple of incidents where people's lives were at stake, and the police department, all the first responders that we're going to mention, some of them are police officers, some are volunteer firefighters, ambulance workers, some of them are Greenberg ambulance workers, but we just want to acknowledge everything that you have all done for us, how important a role you play in our lives. I know some people, we only think of you when we have to call 911 and our lives or our loved ones' lives are at stake. And I just want you to know that you're always, we're always grateful to everything that you guys do for us. And we really appreciate all the efforts that you do on our behalf. So you know the details much better than I do. So please introduce yourself and tell them what happened in that first instance, which was December 3rd, 2023.
So my name is Swapnil Pandya. I am the captain of the Dobbs Ferry Volunteer Ambulance Corps. On December 3rd, 2023, in the morning of December 3rd, 2023, we were dispatched to an address on Ogden Avenue for an unresponsive male. When we get dispatched, we get our friends over at the Greenberg Police Department, paramedics, alongside us. And so Donnie Izzo, who's a paramedic with them, was also dispatched with us. He happened to be right around the corner when that call came in. So he showed up on scene and found a 69-year-old male having been unresponsive. Bystanders, family members were doing CPR on him. Donnie, alongside with the police officers that responded, I believe it was Officer Wilson, Officer Hidalgo, performed CPR. Donnie shocked the patient once. At that same time, our crew showed up with EMTs, Catania and Norbert Kotowski. When they showed up, Donnie shocked them, and we got pulses back. I showed up on scene shortly after that. We packaged the patient, brought him into the ambulance, and transported him to Dobbs Ferry Hospital to get an airway secured and further care. We found out later on that that patient was transported to St. John's Riverside Hospital, which is the one in Yonkers. From there, he was transported. He was in the ICU for a little bit, fully recovered with no neurological deficits, and then was transported to another hospital to get a pacemaker implanted, and he's now alive, well, living his life day to day. So it's very rare that we're able to get these saves, especially in a village like Dobbs. We don't do very many cardiac arrests, and when we do, obviously the police department's always first there, and then us and the paramedics are there shortly after that. So having a save is very, very slim. It's less than 10% of cardiac arrests outside the hospital actually make it out and save with no neurological deficits. This was one of the 2 incidents that we'll talk about today. But it was a team effort by both the police department, our EMTs, and the Greenberg paramedics. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you. We appreciate you for everything that you have done, so thank you very much. We appreciate it. You want to call up?
Yeah, so if you guys, Donnie, Norbert, Ben, and then you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we have certificates for each of those people. Do you want to put them out?
Sure.
You're the captain.
So Norbert, I think this one's yours. Yep.
Okay, and Officer Hidalgo, thank you very much. Don't leave me hanging like that. And Officer Wilson, thank you. Thank you again very much. Thank you, Norbert. Thank you. Let's do you want us to move? Okay, can we all move about 5 feet to the right? Thank you, everybody. You want to talk about the January 13th incident?
So a couple weeks after that incident, we had another incident just before our shift change at around 6 p.m. And so it happened to be the same time that I was coming off shift, and I think Ben was coming on shift, where we got dispatched to a unresponsive, collapsed person off of Price Street. When we were en route, we were en route with paramedic Usher, who happened to be at our building at the time. We were advised over the air that CPR was in progress by 2 Dobbs Ferry police officers. When we arrived on scene with paramedic Usher, we took over CPR from the police department. Usher took over with his monitor, shocked the patient a couple of times, and eventually we obtained pulses back. Again, we packaged the patient and transported them to Westchester Medical Center, where they had a full recovery and are now doing completely fine, living their life. And we actually had the opportunity to meet them a couple weeks ago. They came down to our building and said hi, and it was really nice to actually get to meet them. So again, hard work by everyone, the police department being first on scene, performing CPR, and then our EMTs and paramedics taking over to make sure that they come back to life. It was a great save.
Thank you again, we appreciate it. It's yours personally.
Thank you. Yeah, so Mike, Norbert, Ben.
Okay, and Officer Scalar and Officer...
I don't think they're here.
Motion to make an error, I'll accept them on their behalf.
Who's the captain? You can... Again, I want to thank you all for everything that you've done. Really appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you, everybody. Now is your chance to escape if you want to escape. So if you're going, you could stay for the next 2 hours.
2 hours.
Okay, moving along, next item would be the courtesy of the floor. If anybody here would like to speak for courtesy of the floor, come on up, go to the mic. Just identify yourself and where you live.
Usually absent.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Mark Skulstead. I live at 20 Riverside Place. I don't know anybody here. I know a lot of people sitting over here, but I don't know anybody here, so I just want to give you a little background. I've lived in Dobbs Ferry for 37 years. My children have all gone through the public school here, from Springhurst to the high school, and they've gone on to Columbia and other school. You know, to be honest with you, the last time I spoke in front of anybody was like in 8th grade. And I remember it was about Jurassic, the Jurassic area there. So I'm a little nervous. And,
Quite all right.
And I don't know if you'll like about the things that I've been saying.
Thanks for giving us the warning.
Yeah. Anyway, two of my children was on the Volantes football. He was Coach Volante. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was the coach, and we went to state three or 4 years in a row. I can't remember. I was always going to Syracuse. Anyway, I love Dobbs Ferry. I think it's a wonderful place to live. I want to say that you know, my family is I have 3 disabled veterans. My grandfather was in World War I, and he couldn't walk, and he didn't have a stomach, and my mom said that the only time I would eat an olive if it was soaked in vermouth, because my grandfather had 3 martinis before dinner every night, you know. So, and my uncle was in the Battle of the Bulge and was hurt there, and my brothers also was in Vietnam, and so I have a great, I guess I love this country, and I love America, and I'm distressed when I see the LGBTQ flag on Cedar in Maine. I have to go over that every day. And I noticed in the Palestinian movement here that the LGBTQ flag is flying. And does that mean I'm finished?
You can go on, go ahead.
Okay. And I have many Jewish friends, and I love them too. And I call them up on the phone and ask them how they're doing. And so I see this flag as this. I'm concerned about the children. My nephew also lives in Dobbs Ferry. His wife told him that his daughter came to her the other day. Well, not the other day. It was just be honest. It's 2 years ago, and asked if she was a girl. And she said, "Mommy, I'm a girl, right?" And her mother was frightened, you know. So I think that that was scary to me too. And then I know a boy that's in Irvington, who he grew up with my kids. Not grew up, but he was in Irvington. We were in Dobbs Ferry, and now he's a full-fledged girl, I guess. I don't know. He's transgender.
Not to make, I mean, you are over your limit, so I just want to.
Yeah.
So are you just saying that you're just concerned with the
I'm concerned with that. I've been
Okay.
hurt, molested by.
Okay, so that's,
Yeah.
you're.
Oh, you got it, okay.
We got your, we understand that. So thank you for, and if you have anything you want to send to us, you can send us an email, but yes.
Okay, I just wanted to express my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else here like to speak, courtesy of the floor? Anybody online? Okay, so let's move on to resolutions. So, the action item number 1 is to consider a resolution authorizing the village administrator to go out to bid for annual infrastructure repairs. Rob, can you just provide a little bit of background on that?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I believe years ago we had a contract in place. It was like a pre-bid, if you will, to save money and time instead of going out for bid for individual sidewalk repairs or curb repairs, pavement, typical catch basin, manhole kind of fixes. So this contract that in concert I was dealing with Steve Trezor and our village engineer. So we put a spec back together. We'd like to bid this out, again, to achieve a lot of savings in time and money. Instead of going out every time there's a little crack or something broken, we can just feed off this list, which is like a pre-bid list, which I think would save more efficiently time and money.
Okay, and part of that, you have included the specifications and contract documents for the annual infrastructure repairs.
Right, that's the bulk of the paperwork in front of you. I apologize for that, but
okay.
It's a rather, we put in everything we could to do this once the right way, and I think it is correct.
Okay, I think it makes sense to move forward this way. So is there a motion to authorize the village administrator to go out to bid for annual infrastructure repairs? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Taylor, all in favor? That passes unanimously.
Thank you, Mayor and Board.
Action item number 2 is consider a resolution waiving enforcement of specific parking regulations for the off-street parking lot at 99 Cedar Street on May 18th, 2024, in support of the Rivertown's Chamber of Commerce Taste Local event. So the...
Mayor, this waives the enforcement of the fees, the parking fees, between the hours of the event. It does not waive the durational time limits to encourage turnover and for your business patrons to be able to freely use 99 Cedar. So it's a waiver of the regulation, the enforcement of regulations as to fees.
Right, we want to encourage people to come down, and it's going to be between the hours of 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So again, this is a way that we feel will encourage people to come down and partake in the event and not have to worry about parking. So is there a motion to waive enforcement of parking regulations for the off-street parking lot at 99 Cedar Street on May 18th? I believe there's a rain date on,
I don't think so.
so why is it there's a May 28th in the resolution? That's wrong on the left? You see that? In the next to last paragraph, it says between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on May 28th. That's incorrect, right?
May
Okay.
18th?
The right date is May
May 18th.
18th. Okay. So making that correction, we're waiving the specific parking regulations on May 18th between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Is there a motion? Trustee Galen, second. Trustee Rosenasher, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 3. I think I have something.
There should be an update.
Yeah, there's an updated resolution in your packet on this one.
Okay. So I think in the agenda that we sent out, we mentioned that we were going to upgrade the library HVAC, but I think that came back prohibitively high. Maybe Trustee Taylor, you'd like to go speak on that?
Sure. So among the grants that the Sustainable Dobbs was able to get for us were 2 grants, one for 150 and the other for, do I have the numbers right? 175 and 250 are the 2 grants. The first of which we need to submit a preliminary proposal for what we'd like to use the grant for by the 22nd of this month. The 2 projects that were identified as qualifying for these energy-saving grants were the library HVAC system update and the possibility of improving the solar array that's currently on the DPW site. In working with the folks at Honeywell, the library project was prohibitively expensive, north of $2.5 million. So the idea became to pursue the Dobbs, the DPW solar array. The solar array, I won't go into all of the details here, but essentially, the preliminary proposals that we have would involve putting up to almost 270 kilowatts of solar power on the DPW site. We would put ahead, what they call in front of the meter. We're going to consider putting it behind the meter, but in front of the meter means selling the power back to Con Ed, so it would generate an income stream. That income stream would more than support the debt that would be involved to pay the balance from the 425 to approximately 800, between $800 and $900,000 to do it. In addition, there are substantial incentives available both at the federal and state level, which we believe, and Sustainable Westchester, I'll get the designation right, in their preliminary modeling, believes that we would qualify for, which would essentially allow the village to not be out any funds after those incentives were achieved. There are other potential projects with slightly less solar that would involve potentially different economics for us. But this clearly seems to be the way to go. And it's, if we did do the full array of just under 270 kilowatts, based on current estimated pricing, and these numbers are still rough numbers, they can move around, that could generate as much as $38,000 a year for the village in revenue from the solar project. So this is, I know you did it already, but I also want to offer my thanks and admiration for the folks at Sustainable in terms of what you've been able to do. And one of the things is all these numbers are inked and worked out that I'm going to propose, and I assume with the support of the folks at Sustainable, that some or all of those funds that are being generated as incremental revenue to the village be earmarked to be invested in sustainable projects going forward. So we can build on this momentum, be that hiring grant writers or soliciting grants, or just straight out spending on items that help us achieve an even greater sustainable stature than we have today.
Any other comments? Okay. So I want to, again, thank you, Sustainable, for doing everything that you've done. Again, you've done all the heavy lifting on this. And I think this is the way to go with that money in the project. So if we're all okay with that, is there a motion to authorize the, let's see how I say this better.
Submission of the application.
Is there a motion specifying the projects for utilization of clean energy community grant funds as outlined in the proposed resolution, where rooftop solar installation already existing in the DPW building at 1 Stanley Avenue would be upgraded, would also promote the use of clean technologies for the community? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Patino, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
And to be clear, this is not a firm commitment. The board will have to approve the final economic details in the project, but what this does is it sets the village on a path to be able to apply fully for the grant, to get that permission, and to move forward with this.
Again, thank you all for all the hard work you guys did on that one. Okay, action item number 4 is consider a resolution to accept a grant from the Student Assistance Services. So, Rob, you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes. This was a fortunate
I should have said,
opportunity.
excuse me, now is the time that you guys could leave.
This is riveting stuff. Yeah. Now how much would you pay?
Really, anybody can leave at any time.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
The door's not locked, I swear.
Rough crowd.
Cue the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Rob. Go ahead.
That's okay, Mayor, thanks. Yeah, this was a fortunate opportunity. This came in from the county executive's office. It's basically $5,000 non-matching funds that are being basically passed through the SAS to us to be used for different vaping training and other drug-related trainings, which go through the youth services. So again, this is found money, $5,000 to go towards that. So to me, it was something certainly worthwhile to pursue.
And where does this money, it's going to come to the village?
It's county money coming through SAS, through the youth services, to be used in Dobbs Ferry.
So they're going to use it as they see fit with regard to the limitations of tobacco and related tobacco vaping?
Right, to educate students.
Okay. So is there a motion to approve and accept this grant? Trustee Rosenberg, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 5 is to consider a resolution to accept a Greater Irvington Land Trust New York State grant in the amount of $1,650 for the purpose of purchasing 2 native trees to enhance the commuter space located at Dobbs Ferry Waterfront Bus Stop. Rob, you want to clarify that any further? I think we already got the trees, didn't we? Or-
Yes, we did. I think they were planted recently.
Were planted, right?
Yeah, healthy trees planted.
Okay.
And,
The beautification committee had taken the initiative to make the application, and the money came through, so we
Correct.
processed it
Yes.
quickly because they were interested in purchasing the trees. So with Jeff's help, and thank you, Jeff, for jumping on that, there was a purchase order issued right away.
Right, I thought I saw that. So I want to thank the Beautification Committee for doing this. We want to thank the Irvington Land Trust for that, the DPW for planting it so quickly, and for Jeff getting this authorized. So is there a motion to accept this grant in the amount of $1,650? Trustee Patino, second. Trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 6 is consider a resolution authorizing the village administrator to authorize a change order with Dolph Rockfeld Engineering for the installation of a bypass stormwater connection to the existing manhole at Ashford Avenue as part of the Gould Park Improvement Project. I believe when they were doing some work, they found some unexpected problems, so they had to make some adjustments, and this is just a change in the work order, correct?
Correct, Mayor. Yeah, they found a deficiency in one of the chambers that they were connecting this large extension stormwater pipe. So when they uncovered it, they had to replace it, unfortunately. It was
Unfortunately, the
unforeseen.
price is $78,121.70, I believe, right? There
Correct.
has to be an extra decimal in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
but I'm assuming that's what the price is. So, and we're going to do the change, and while approving this motion, we're also doing a appropriate balance transfer. So is there a motion to approve?
Just one question.
Sure.
Did AE Engineering approve this? Did they review this and approve this?
Yes, it all had to be engineered thoroughly, and we had to bring in a new box culvert, and we had to attach 2 separate dual.
Yeah, but he
24-inch pipes.
reviewed
Well, he reviewed and
the
approved it.
details of the change order. And
Yes, of course,
Okay, that's
yes.
all. Thank you.
Okay, is there a
Sorry.
motion? It's okay, it's always good to ask those questions, because then next
I
time.
remember this happening, but I don't remember seeing the breakdown, so.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve this as outlined? Trustee Patino, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 7 is, again, to authorize a change order, which is for additional work outside the original contract scope of work that will allow us to open the pool and have a nice turf. So I think, again, when we were working on it, we found some unexpected problems and issues, and in order to move this along, to get it done by Memorial Day, some changes had to be done, correct?
That's correct, Mayor. It included the extra sodding instead of seeding, which would actually allow people to use the grass sooner to get the pool open so they can actually sit somewhere. And also, there was irrigation that was not on the plans that we had to fix when we put the whole seeding wall in. So they had to repair the irrigation. And then there was the Department of Health required a fence, a safety fence, to go temporarily around the back area of the pool to make sure nobody got in there. So again, these are unforeseen at the moment, but at the time of the original design.
So I just want to clarify, this
This isn't money that we're spending to open the pool on time. This is money we're spending to make improvements that need to be made. Anyone who's familiar with the pool knows that there's some areas that are like saturated often, and they stay that way. And so part of the project early in the construction was to address those areas so that people had better seating areas. You didn't have sort of soggy soil to put your towel on. And it just turned out that doing that was more complicated than we initially envisioned. So this isn't to get things ready for Memorial Day. This is just an improvement to the pool area that's, sort of overdue.
Yeah, it says removal of an existing irrigation system, which then led to unknown existing conditions. So, yeah, and unfortunately, this change is $76,328.44. And by approving this resolution, we are also approving a fund balance transfer. So is there a motion to authorize the change order as outlined above? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Patino, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 8.
Thank you.
Is to consider a resolution approving the street closure of Bellwood Avenue at the intersections of Ashford Avenue, Walgrove Avenue, and Transvaal Street for a play street to be held on Sunday, June 2nd, 2024, between the hours of 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., with a rain date of Sunday, June 9th, 2024. So is there a motion to approve this? Trustee Galen, second trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? That's approved unanimously. Action item number 9 is to consider a resolution to authorize the Department of Public Works to declare 2 pieces of equipment as surplus, purchase 2 additional pieces of equipment. In support of that, we do have a memo dated May 10th, 2024 from DPW explaining what they want to do. And it seems as if a 1984 John Deere front-end loader and a 2003 John Deere tractor will be declared as surplus, and in its place, the village will buy another front loader in the amount of $94,159.91, and a asphalt hot patcher dump trailer for $41,133. And with this, there also will be a budget amendment which will increase the budget and equipment line for those objects. Is there any questions, comments, or we're ready to approve it? Is there
Will
a
this,
motion?
I have a question. Will this give us a capability that we don't currently have? And that is better patching of potholes? No?
Why don't you come up and tell us that, what it will do?
This is the asphalt patching, which allows us to now, all year round, we can actually heat up asphalt at will and go right to the
So
source.
it gives us 4 seasons of, okay, great.
So then it does give us more capability.
Right, instead of half the load of 4 tons, half of it being used, by the time it gets cold, you can't reuse it. This is called a hot box, keeps the asphalt and tar hot, and we can heat it up as needed and fill potholes more regularly.
Sounds like a yes.
I would like to make a motion.
Trustee Rosenberg.
I'm in.
Second, trustee Galen, all in favor?
Pretty
That
much.
passes unanimously.
Yeah.
Action item
That's like
number
I've used them before.
10 is to consider a resolution to close the offices at Village Hall, DPW, and Village Court on July 3rd. So you're not really, you're closing the offices to the public, but you guys are still going to be working.
Right, it's record retention and basically cleaning up a lot of files. During the day, there's just no time to
Right.
file, and things are getting out of hand, so it's behooves us to refile things so we can find them more efficiently and help the public.
Okay, so is there a motion to authorize the closing of the offices at Village Hall, Department of Public Works, and the Village Court to the public on Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024, for the annual records management? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Patino, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 11 is to consider a resolution approving the audit of claims as submitted and recommended by the village treasurer. In a separate email, we did receive the specifics regarding the claims and audit. So is there a motion to approve the audit of claims? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? That passes unanimously. I'm going to add an item to the agenda, which is concerning the home rule request, asking the state legislature to adopt Assembly Bill number A10034. Laura Lee, can you shed some light on this?
Sure, Liz has been working on this as well. So we've been given the bill numbers necessary. We passed a resolution letting the state legislature know we were interested in extending the expiring on-street parking regulations. So this now is the follow-up to that. They have drafted a bill, and they are now asking for you to send up a home rule message. Liz will prepare the forms. They're, as you know, they're quite antiquated, big blue forms. She has to type them individually, but that's what this is in support of.
With a typewriter?
Handwrite.
Handwritten?
Yes, believe it or not. Yes.
So I need a motion.
So it's just a reminder, because I know that this came up in conversation. This is an extension of the now expiring, coming up January 1st of 2025, and also seeking permission to make this a permanent on-street parking permit situation. So in the alternative, that's what they're asking us. They're going to seek that by home rule.
Okay, so I need a motion to add this to the agenda. So is there a motion to add this resolution to the agenda? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? This item is now added to the agenda as action item number 12. Thank you. So is there a motion to adopt a is there a resolution adopting a home rule request asking the state legislature to adopt Assembly Bill number A10034? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor. That is hereby adopted and will be sent up to Albany. Which leads us now to, I think that's all we have.
No, you have to do the same companion for the Senate bill.
Where's that?
It's an assembly and a senate.
Two separate messages.
What are you talking about? Giving me two more to do.
Well, they were given to me.
S9122.
So is there a motion, or I have to add it to the agenda, so is there a motion to add to the agenda, a resolution adopting the home rule request for the state legislature to adopt Senate Bill number S9122? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor. It's now added to the agenda. As outlined by Laura Lee, is there a motion to adopt this resolution so we can pass it on to the state legislature? Trustee Taylor, second trustee Galen, all in favor. That passes unanimously. Thank you.
One
This
additional.
is the one I.
99 Main Street.
Yeah. So this is, we're going to add to the agenda is to schedule a public hearing regarding site plan approval for 99 Main Street. So is there a motion to add to the agenda action item number 13, I believe that? 14, to schedule a public hearing regarding the application for site plan approval for the property at 99 Main Street. Trustee Taylor, second trustee Patino, all in favor. That's hereby added to the agenda. Laura Lee, do you want to give us the Reader's Digest version
Sure.
of this?
You had discussed this. The applicant was here to make a presentation. There was a general consensus that you'd be willing to look at the fourth story. This is a rehabilitation of a one-story with 3 stories above and 4 new dwelling units at 99 Cedar. So it's gone to the planning board, it's gone to the county planning, and now it's coming back to you, and it will need a public hearing for you to then further consider the requests for site plan approval and also a discussion of the 4th story, which is entirely in your purview.
Okay, so is there a motion to schedule a public hearing to consider an application for site plan approval for the property known at 99 Main Street for May 28th, 2024 at 7:30 PM? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Thank you, Matt.
And we'll need to just let the applicant know. I believe they were told to be prepared to come back on the 28th, but we'll just remind, Sarah is usually the one who lets them know. We'll need to meet the submission deadline.
Okay, trustee liaison reports, trustee Galen.
Downtown committee is pushing toward June 1st, which is the Phoenicia Flea. We're really excited about that, and also hopefully, gonna say this because I know we're gonna get it done, hopefully having a sidewalk sale in downtown Dobbs Ferry on the same day. But we need to get that done at our next meeting, so putting it into the universe. The downtown committee wants to see the waterfront and the downtown activated in one very exciting, comprehensive way, in partnership also with the River Arts Music Tour, which is happening on that same day as well. And there will be 2 River Arts Music Tour locations on Cedar Street, which will serve as further attractions for people to come from the waterfront to the downtown, hopefully with the aid of a shuttle that we are planning to activate. So that is the primary pursuit of the downtown committee at the moment. And they're working on a couple of other proposals for summer programming to highlight the wonderful things that are happening in the downtown. And they are also working on a series of interviews with downtown business owners to start getting the word out about all the different great businesses that we have in our downtown and our various business districts. So keep an eye out.
Trustee Rosenberg.
So since our last meeting, there was a traffic committee meeting, a few things from that. Happy to report that our efforts at increasing walkability in Dobbs Ferry are in line with some recent research that was published by Scientific American, and also an article in Westchester Magazine that emphasized the need to expand walkability in communities such as ours. Second, the traffic committee is working with Sustainable Dobbs on a couple of projects to improve walkability. One of those is, and we've talked about this in a discussion before, but I'd like to get some momentum behind it, and that is improving lighting at night at the intersection of Broadway and Maple, which is currently dark and dangerous in the evening, and an inhibition to safely walking through Dobbs Ferry. And the third thing for anybody who is not aware and who's watching in TV land, YouTube land, we're excited about the very soon-to-be upcoming repaving and restriping of Route 9. Route 9 hasn't had a repaving and has been very, very bumpy, pothole-filled road for a long time. And one of the things that's going along with that is restriping to make the road safer, slower, and better designed for both traffic flow and pedestrian and cyclist safety.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you know the dates that's going to start?
I would defer to Mr. Yamuder, who recently had a meeting with the DOT.
Yes, it's the Tuesday night following Memorial Day,
And that's going to last for how long?
1.5 to 2 months.
And the work will all be done in the evening hours. So there'll be lighting and noise for the duration of the project, but then it'll be done.
Right, and
Yeah, and it's more than
And they'll
just,
be moving-
slapping a new coat of tar over it, right? They're fixing culverts, they're doing a lot
Catch
of
basins,
infrastructure
manhole
work, catch
covers,
basins.
curbs.
I assume it's not going to be the whole of Route 9 for the whole period of time, right?
It's gonna
Individual
leapfrog.
neighborhoods will be impacted for a shorter period of time.
Right, they're gonna
It will
grind
roll.
in front and keep going, then they're gonna pave in the same night, and then they're gonna come back and do the same thing, striping. They're gonna have to unfortunately request and almost demand that there's no parking on there, because obviously you can't pave while there's cars there. But they're gonna be moving ahead, and they'll be coning out way ahead of time. So that's why we're a good month ahead of this, so we're trying to get the word out, and it's, hopefully, it'll go smoothly. They already went through, they're making their way north, they just finished Hastings. So hopefully they learned their lessons, and they're gonna apply them here.
The other piece too is when and if people do leave their cars inadvertently and are towed, we're towing them locally, right? We're not sending people off to an impound yard
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's not we, it's the state hired a contractor they're hiring a subcontracting towing company, and we haven't decided where. It could be across the street to get them out of the path of the activity that's coming, or it could be somewhere else, maybe Waterfront Park. We haven't got that detail yet.
But it will be local and easy to
Yes, of
recover the
course,
car.
and no fines, of course.
So people have to pay attention to the signage when it goes up.
There's going to be a lot of notification coming up, every avenue available to us to let everybody know.
Let us all remember that this is a state road that is being paved.
Yes, thank you.
And the inconveniences that come along with it and the benefits that come along with it are thanks to the state of New York.
I think it was last repaved almost 35 years ago.
Wow, 35 years
Yes. Just to let
And
you
the
know.
mobile number for DOT commissioner is,
It'll be on the tag, but we're going to get the bulk of it, but
Oh, I know
we
we
know
will.
where to send them.
This whole project runs from the Hastings Board with Yonkers through Sleepy Hollow. This is a not insignificant project.
Almost 7 miles of Route 9.
How many?
Almost 7 miles.
7 miles. I thought it was more than
It's going to be great once it's done.
that. Trustee Taylor, do you have anything you want to add?
I think you've heard a lot about what Sustainable's been doing, and nothing in particular for the library.
Trustee Patino?
Yeah, the CAB this Saturday is having a conservation charity student art show and sale at their tree planting event. So from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., students are going to exhibit their work in the forest, and those will be for sale. There's also a tree planting event at the same time.
Trustee Rosen-Asher?
I had the pleasure of attending the spring fling at the Embassy Center with the seniors, and one woman made it a point to tell me how impressed she was with all the programs that Dobbs Ferry has for the seniors. She doesn't even live in Dobbs Ferry. She comes here specifically, so I want to give a shout out to Abby Kinnett and her whole team for everything that they do. The Beautification Committee has been busy working with the team assigned to the DIG grant and helping with to make our downtown more beautiful. And the Human Rights and Diversity Committee, I just want to remind everyone that June 23rd, it's Greenberg Pride down at the waterfront. This month, it's Asian Pacific month, it's Jewish month, it's a whole bunch of months this month. And I want to also just thank Cynthia for all the work that she did. She was a very crucial member, especially in the beginning as we were forming the Human Rights and Diversity Committee, and it's a small but mighty force. And if it's something that you're interested in, I urge people to try to get involved. And I just want to give a plug out for the Taste Local event that the Rivertown's Chamber of Commerce is putting on Saturday with the trolley and Taste of Food. I'm very excited. I can't wait to eat my way through the Rivertowns. And I think that's it.
Okay. I have a couple of announcements. The first one's regarding parking. The new parking zone for Lower Main Street goes into effect tomorrow, May 15th. The zone will allow for enforcement in that area to end at 6 p.m. instead of 8. So again, everybody should be aware that we're ending the 8 p.m. restriction and making it at 6 o'clock. We listened to people's complaints, and they had good rationale, so we are ending it at 6 o'clock rather than 8. Also, all of Main and Cedar Streets will now allow an additional hour of parking to be added once the original 2-hour limit expires. Again, this is in response to people who said they wanted to stay for more than 2 hours, but could not do so due to the zone they were parking in. So now we will permit an additional hour. That additional hour will cost $2. Again, these are both pilot programs, and we will reevaluate them in September. As a reminder, the current parking permits expire on May 31st. New permits are available now for purchase online or at the front desk at Village Hall. Again, as a reminder, gas-powered leaf blowers are banned for the summer season starting tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, you cannot use a gas-powered leaf blower, and this goes into effect through October 15th. For those of you who have been inconvenienced by the utility upgrades on Hatch Terrace, Walnut Street, Chestnut Street, Elm Street, and Eldridge Street, The restoration is finished with the exception to the striping. The striping will happen over the next few days, but all parking restrictions have been lifted. As another reminder, the village property tax bills should arrive in your mailboxes by the end of the month. The due date on the bill is listed as June 1st. However, payment is collected for the entire month of June without penalty. Do not bring payments to the village before June 1st, as we cannot accept the checks until they are due. We've heard that the Food Truck Festival is this Sunday, May 19th, from 12 to 6. So that should be, I guess, at Waterfront Park, that Truck Festival will be. That should be a great event. And the Soapbox Derby is scheduled for June 30th. Car kits are on sale through the Recreation Department. And the new fire truck has arrived, and that's exciting news. And that's it for announcements. Although, Rob, and again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but can you briefly tell us what's happened with Gould Park? I saw that they did take down the building, part of the building.
Yes, Mayor. They started Monday morning, encapsulated the building, safely took out the asbestos. They have all the air monitors according to state standard. So the professional licensed asbestos removers, they went in, did their thing, and then they proceeded, the same company, to actually demolish the building, which is like 90% down. They started carting it away. They're going to continue to cart away everything that came down, the debris, tomorrow as well. And we're trying to get the engineer here in the next day or two so they can assess how much more, if any, of the building might have to come down as well, because structurally they have to check out, for insurance purposes, they're not going to take everything out unless it's part of the fire. So we're going to know
That's
more.
the upper building.
The upper building is still there, and then the lower portion is gone. So they're going to assess next day or two what the next step structurally will be. And the insurance company is apprised of this every step of the way.
Okay. If there's nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? Trustee Rosen Asher, second. Trustee Taylor, all in favor? It's unanimous. Meeting is adjourned.